So I get the house?
Yes, you get everything. Bill just wants to keep his share of GS strategies.
Whatever. I got the house.
Well, good luck to you, Candace. You know, we had a few good years there before it all turned to shit. And I hope you find your frog.
Hey, what is GS whatever?
Oh, yeah, that's a little company I'm a part of. We win the lottery every month.
See you around!
The movie opens in the small town of Everett, where an elderly couple, Jerry and Marge Selbee, drive their pickup truck to a convenience store to buy lottery tickets. They've discovered a mathematical loophole that lets them predict and almost guarantee the outcome of a state lottery game. But their story doesn't actually start here. It begins a little earlier. One morning, Jerry wakes up before dawn for another shift at the cornflakes factory, where he's worked since he was in high school. But today feels different. He suspects it might be his last day. Standing before the board of directors, he tries to convince them that despite his age, his sharp mind and talent for numbers still make him valuable, even though the production line he runs is shutting down. They gently remind him that he's due for retirement.
Come on, you served your time. These are your golden years.
Just like that, Jerry is officially retired. That night, Jerry and his wife Marge host a small dinner with their children, Doug and Dawn, and their close friends Howard and Shirley, to celebrate the milestone. After a toast, Howard and Shirley suggest he join them in real estate, but Jerry insists he'll just stay home and help Marge with chores. Jokingly, he offers to consult for Doug's construction company if Doug is willing to pay him a fee, which makes everyone laugh. The mood lifts even more when their granddaughter announces they have a present for Jerry. They surprise him with a retirement gift, a shiny new fishing boat. Jerry is touched, although when the others head back inside, he quietly admits to Marge that he barely owns regular clothes for fishing since he's always worn work uniforms. Marge reassures him that they can fix that. A month later, the boat still hasn't moved from the yard. Jerry stops by the local store for coffee and a Sudoku puzzle, then visits his longtime accountant and friend, Steve.
What are you doing out here?
My appointment's at 10.
No, you said you'd come at 10. I don't have any other appointments. I have 6 clients.
Okay.
When Jerry asks how he stays afloat financially, Steve admits he works full-time as an online travel agent now. They get down to business, and Steve reveals that Jerry's savings have only grown by about 2%. He urges Jerry to invest in the stock market, promising he could double his money in a little over 7 years. Jerry declines and heads out. Before he leaves, Steve reminds him to enjoy retirement and maybe take that boat out for a spin. So Jerry finally tries. He straps the boat to his pickup and drives to the river, but things go wrong fast. He forgets to set the parking brake, and the truck begins rolling into the water. Panicked, he jumps in and pulls forward, totally forgetting the boat is still attached. Frustrated and embarrassed, he returns to the store for another cup of coffee to calm down. While there, he overhears the cashier explaining the rules of a lottery game called Windfall to a customer.
What's a roll down?
Oh, it's when the jackpot hits 2 million and nobody gets 6 numbers. Then the whole jackpot rolls down to the people who got 3 or 4, whatever. Just better odds.
Jerry sits down and notices a Windfall pamphlet on the table. He reads the rules carefully. Something clicks. With his mathematical instincts kicking in, he begins scribbling calculations on a napkin and realizes the game has a loophole. During special roll-down weeks, the jackpot money gets distributed among players who match fewer numbers, meaning with the right strategy, you can guarantee a profit. Excited, Jerry rushes to Steve to share the discovery. He explains how buying large amounts of tickets during roll-down weeks can produce consistent wins by hitting 3 or 4 numbers.
So, the math is in your favor. And they missed it.
I don't know what this says. It looks like the numbers a crazy man drew in a cell wall.
It means that on the roll-down weeks, you are guaranteed to win.
That can't be true.
Why not?
Because it's the lottery. There's a building of people in Detroit whose job it is to know how the numbers work.
I cannot believe you are my accountant.
Part-time accountant, full-time online travel agent.
He heads straight to the bank and asks the teller, Mindy, for a $2,000 withdrawal. Confident in his calculations, he promises he'll be back in a few days with at least 20% more. The next morning, Jerry heads to a local store to buy $2,000 worth of Windfall tickets. That night, he sits glued to the TV as the winning numbers are drawn, quietly writing them down. When Marge walks in, he quickly closes his notebook and pretends he wasn't paying attention. She asks what he's doing, and Jerry awkwardly claims he's just chilling. Marge suggests they watch a movie together, but Jerry keeps acting suspiciously, insisting he's watching something important.
You're watching this?
No.
Yet he immediately turns off the TV when she questions why he's watching the lottery. As soon as she leaves, he switches it back on and continues writing down the numbers. The next day, Jerry sits in a cafe checking his tickets and realizes he lost $327. That night, he and Marge have a game night with their friends Howard and Shirley, but Jerry is completely distracted. He drifts into his thoughts about the lottery and doesn't even hear people talking to him.
Jerry.
He's so out of it that he mixes up the rules of the simple card game they're playing.
Full house.
We're playing gin.
When the night ends and their friends leave, Marge gently asks what's wrong. Jerry admits he's been feeling down because of retirement, and he misses having a purpose. They sit together on the porch, and Marge comforts him, reminding him that life isn't over and that good luck comes just as often as bad. That phrase hits Jerry instantly. He realizes he forgot to account for probability in his formula, which is why he lost the first time.
Man, what a dummy. Not you, me. You're a genius.
The next morning, Jerry rushes to the bank, bursting with excitement. He tries to explain to Mindy how he miscalculated the frequency of probability, even using a coin flip example.
If you take a coin and you flipped it 1,000 times, you might still get 60% hits. But if you flipped it 5,000 times, the probability gets closer to 50%.
But she's completely lost. He asks to withdraw $4,000, then changes it to $6,000, then finally makes it $8,000.
Eight?
Eight.
8,000?
Are you sure?
Nearly his whole balance. With the cash in hand, he returns to the store and buys a massive stack of windfall tickets. Later, Jerry and Marge have lunch at a diner with Howard and Shirley. They chat about the town's annual Jazz Fest, which has been canceled for years because of an accident that left the town in debt. Then Howard casually asks if they want to buy lottery tickets because a roll-down is happening that night. Marge quickly says,
We're not lottery people.
making Jerry shift uncomfortably. Howard jokes that only crazy people spend thousands on lottery tickets, and Jerry immediately chokes on his food. Soon after, Jerry is back at the cafe, sorting through his stack of tickets. This time, the math works, and he realizes he's won over $15,000. He cashes out quietly and sneaks the bundles of money into their pantry, stuffing them inside an old popcorn tin. The next day, the family and their close friends gather in the backyard for a barbecue. Jerry hands the grill over to his son Doug and heads inside. Inside the house, Jerry catches his granddaughter Lizzie walking out with the popcorn tin. He stops her and awkwardly claims the popcorn is stale and full of sugar. Lizzie doesn't buy it, but Jerry manages to get the tin from her anyway. He rushes into the pantry, dumps the cash into a cereal box, and hands the popcorn tin back to her. Later that night, Marge approaches him with a suspicious look.
Something you want to tell me?
What?
The pantry.
Thinking he's been caught, Jerry immediately confesses everything.
I'm playing the lottery.
I meant the empty bag of Oreos.
How he found a flaw in the lottery system, used their savings to play, and ended up winning $15,000.
Wow.
After hearing the full explanation, Marge shocks him. She wants to keep going. She says this is the perfect chance for them to spend time together and finally have some fun. She's waited 40 years for a moment like this.
I want to have fun. Let's be a little stupid. We got married when we were 17, so we know how to do it.
The next day, they head to the local store ready to reinvest the entire $15,000, but the cashier breaks the bad news. The windfall lottery has been shut down in their state. The only place they can play now is Massachusetts. They visit Steve and show him Jerry's calculations, explaining that they plan to take a 10-hour road trip to keep playing. Without hesitation, Steve tells them to put him down for $1,000.
I'm in too.
You sure?
No, but what the hell? Put me in for 1,000. I just got a cruise I gotta cancel now.
The following morning, Jerry wakes up to find the bed empty. Marge is already dressed, packing food, snacks, and everything they'll need for a 3-day trip. She tells Jerry to grab the boxes, and before he can even change out of his clothes, they're on the road. As they drive toward Massachusetts, they munch on snacks Marge packed and enjoy the adventure together. Hours later, they arrive at a gas station with a windfall lottery machine. Inside, they meet the owner, Bill, and tell him they want $16,000 worth of tickets, $8,000 in total. Bill pauses to ring up a little kid first, then informs them that the machine prints 1,000 tickets per hour. It'll take 8 full hours. Marge says that's fine, and Bill lets them operate the machine themselves. That evening, they check into a motel. The nostalgic atmosphere reminds them of their prom night and honeymoon. When the windfall drawing begins, they turn on the TV, write down the winning numbers, and begin the long process of checking every single ticket. They work through the night and finish by morning. Jerry calculates their total. They've won $21,000, giving them a $5,000 profit. Jerry collects the winnings at the Massachusetts lottery office. When he gets back to the car, he jokes that he expected alarms to go off when he walked inside, but all they did was congratulate him. Marge, thrilled, wonders aloud if they're the only ones who've noticed the loophole. Cut to Harvard. In a dorm room, a student named Tyler sits at his laptop, working on a research project about lottery odds. His roommate thinks the topic is dumb, but Tyler insists it'll still earn him a B. Once the roommate leaves, Tyler looks through the lottery tickets he bought for research. When he picks up the windfall ticket, he flips it over and his curiosity spikes. He starts entering the game's rules into a spreadsheet and running calculations of his own. Back on the road home, Marge suddenly tells Jerry to pull over. He does, and they step out of the car. Marge tells him she thinks there's a reason they stayed in their small town for 40 years, that maybe this was the reason. Since Jerry says the more they bet, the better the odds, Marge suggests they bring in the people from their town and let everyone benefit from the loophole. The next day, Jerry and Marge meet with Steve again and tell him they want to start their own corporation, one where the entire town can buy shares so they can raise more capital and increase their profits. Steve loves the idea, buys more shares himself, and helps them set it up. Soon after, Jerry gathers his friends and the town residents at the local diner to explain the new venture. The company is officially registered as GS Investment Strategies, and Jerry explains that each share costs $500. Raj, one of the residents, asks if he can contribute something other than cash because money is tight.
What if we want in, but we're behind on our bills and don't have enough for a share? Do you accept other forms of payment?
In the next scene, Jerry pulls into the driveway with a quad bike in the back of his truck, Raj's alternative payment. Marge introduces the idea to their friends Howard and Shirley, who are immediately excited and join in.
Criminal like this?
No, Shirley, it's not criminal. We're gonna pay taxes on all the winnings and claim expenses. Jerry's got it all worked out.
Jerry then calls their daughter Dawn, who signs up instantly without needing any explanation. But when Jerry visits his son Doug, Doug isn't convinced and refuses to join. Doug clearly holds a grudge against his father for never really understanding him.
Well, it's just math.
It's always just math. It's like sorting through coins looking for buffalo nickels because you had calculated there was, what, one in every 7 rolls or something?
Yeah, we made $600.
If we sorted through coins every weekend for a month, I was 12.
It was fun.
It would have been nice to just throw the football or something.
After Doug leaves, Lizzie asks Jerry to take her in.
I'll be in your business, Pop-Pop.
How are you at logos?
Good.
Well, come here and show Pop-Pop.
Later, the couple returns to Bill's store, Liquor Hut, in Massachusetts. They tell Bill they want to print $40,000 worth of windfall tickets. Bill is stunned and jokingly asks,
You guys drug dealers?
We're professional lottery players.
Bill explains that printing that many tickets will take all night, but he needs to close the store and meet his friends. Jerry then proposes a partnership. He shows Bill Lizzie's hand-drawn logo and introduces him to GSIS.
I'm in. Can I be in?
As Jerry and Marge begin printing the tickets, Bill is outside telling his friends about the investment opportunity. 2 of them agree to sign up on the spot.
I believe we are done.
Hey, I got 2 more shareholders.
So the couple prints even more tickets for them as well. Later that night, Jerry and Marge check into their motel again. After watching the windfall drawing and writing down the numbers, Jerry suggests grabbing coffee to start counting tickets. Marge gives him a flirty look and tells him it can wait till morning. Jerry gets the message. The next morning, they're still in bed when loud banging echoes through the room. Jerry opens the door and finds Bill bursting with excitement. He reveals that they don't have to count the tickets themselves. The lottery sent the store a tally of all winning tickets purchased there. The total is $82,000, and since Jerry and Marge bought every ticket printed, the entire prize is theirs. Meanwhile, in Boston, a frustrated news editor pressures one of his lottery reporters to find him a big, viral story, something that will get clicks and save the company from falling behind. Back in Everett, the Selbees continue increasing their bets with each roll down, and the winnings keep growing. They store every ticket they've ever bought inside their garage to protect themselves in case of an audit. The whole town gets involved, and the couple's new business becomes something everyone celebrates. Meanwhile, at Harvard, Tyler finishes his research project, the one he titled Windflaw. His roommate is stunned by the discovery and asks if it's real. Tyler confirms he ran simulations and that the strategy works. The only issue now is raising at least $10,000 to play. His roommate suggests asking his dad, but Tyler refuses. Instead, he gathers their entire dorm together that night and delivers an inspirational speech about seizing the moment. He reveals the loophole in the lottery system, but they'll need to bet big. He tells everyone to ask their parents for money under the pretense of paying for school supplies.
Also, I'm going to need you all to fill out about 300 lottery slips so we don't bet duplicates.
You're not filling any out?
No, I'm in charge.
Back in Everett, Shirley and Howard show Doug the rundown amphitheater where the town's annual jazz festival used to be held before the accident that shut it down. They tell him they want to use the lottery profits to rebuild it. Doug later visits Jerry and helps him sort the stacks of tickets in the garage. Jerry explains they must keep every losing ticket in case the IRS comes knocking. Doug then reveals he's been hired by the group to renovate the amphitheater. Jerry admits he made Doug a shareholder from the beginning.
You have a share.
What?
You did from the start.
Dad, you didn't have to do that.
Oh, I didn't want to count nickels without you.
Later, Jerry and Marge host a shareholder meeting in a member's bookstore. The room erupts in applause as Jerry steps up. He tells everyone they're doing extremely well and that they'll use most of their capital for upcoming bets, rebuild the amphitheater, bring back Jazz Fest, and continue improving the town. Just as he's about to read the profit ratio, Raj interrupts.
Yes, Raj?
Is there not food at this thing?
No, this is a shareholder meeting. It's not a party.
Then why did you have it at 6 when we all eat?
Jerry suggests heading to the diner later, but the whole crowd instantly gets up and leaves, proving how much they trust him. They don't even need the numbers. Later at the diner, Jerry and Marge reveal to Steve their most ambitious plan yet. They will be betting $600,000 on the next play.
$500,000 in one play.
Oh, the money's the easy part.
Is it?
It'll take 4 days of betting, 2 machines, 12 hours a day.
Then why don't you just bet the normal amount?
They explain that the lottery might not last much longer, so they want to maximize profits while the loophole still exists. Soon after, Bill takes Jerry to another friend's store, where he's secured access to a second printing machine so they can operate without interruptions. Meanwhile, at the news company, the lottery reporter Maya finally brings her boss a lead. She says the lottery is required to publish a list of people who win more than $50,000 4 times a year. According to recent records, one name keeps appearing. A man who drives 10 hours to Massachusetts every 3 weeks and somehow keeps winning big. They both agree that something is definitely suspicious. While Marge is printing tickets at Bill's liquor store, a woman storms in, grabs a pack of beer, and calls Bill a loser before walking out. Marge asks who she is, and Bill casually reveals that it's his wife. He explains he already filed for divorce and only managed to afford it thanks to his investment shares. Bill then admits he wants a woman just like Marge, but younger, and Marge gives him a few tips on self-improvement.
My mother used to say, kiss a few frogs, then when you find a prince, you'll realize that the frogs are better because they make you laugh. You need a new frog.
Back at Harvard, Tyler proudly announces that their group has won $50,000, waving the check in the air. He tells everyone they're going to make even more money, but it will take time and discipline. As he hands out tickets for the group to fill, Eric reveals something alarming. Another group has discovered the lottery flaw too. Their winnings are smaller because they aren't the only ones playing. Eric confesses he figured this out by hacking into the state lottery system. With that information, he traces the competition's location and realizes they're betting from Sunderland, a location not too far from them.
Public information?
No, I hacked the state lottery.
Nice. Wait, that's my laptop.
Yeah, you should destroy your hard drive after this.
Dude.
Whatever.
So they decide to pay them a visit. At Bill's store, Marge watches as Jerry combs his hair and straightens himself before walking in. He grabs a bottle of champagne and tells her he stopped printing early so they could celebrate their 46th anniversary. He pours them glasses, they toast, and Jerry plays music so they can dance together. In the middle of their sweet moment, Tyler and Eric walk in, laughing in disbelief. They expected the competing group to be some kind of criminal syndicate, not 2 old people dancing in a liquor store.
You guys are the other group.
we thought it was gonna be like a crime syndicate or something.
Tyler then proposes a partnership. If Jerry and Marge combine their capital with Harvard's pool, Tyler's team will handle everything and split the profits. Jerry politely refuses, saying they prefer doing things their own way.
We're good.
What? This is about making money. You like money, right?
Well, not as much as I like other things.
Oh gosh, these kids have no idea how much this man likes to cook.
Would you like a glass of champagne?
No, I only drink Jaeger and Red Bull, but thank you.
Well, at least she'll never have to worry about being our age.
Before leaving, Tyler brags that Harvard teaches binomial distribution and claims Jerry doesn't understand how much more efficient it is.
Binomial distribution only considers 2 factors, not a third, which is human error, or a fourth, which is the time it takes for you to fill in the tickets. You gain a whopping $32 for every $100,000 you win. You're welcome.
Seriously?
Shut up.
Jerry and Marge simply smile and return to dancing. Meanwhile, Bill finalizes his divorce. His wife gets the house, but all Bill wants is to keep his shares in GS investment strategies. As they leave the lawyer's office, she angrily asks what he even does with the investment. Bill proudly tells her they win the lottery every month and drives off, leaving her furious. Back in Everett, Raj tells Marge he wants to reopen his ice cream shop. Marge explains there's a way he can lease the building, but says Jerry can break it down better. Elsewhere, Steve shows off his brand new red Ferrari to Jerry. He even offers to let Jerry drive it while he vacations in Mexico, but Jerry politely declines. They sit for coffee, and Jerry mentions the Harvard group, Steve isn't worried. He figures as long as Jerry and Marge keep printing and counting the tickets themselves, they'll stay ahead. Jerry admits they actually enjoy the work. Later in Massachusetts, Dawn helps her parents check stacks of tickets, but quickly complains about how exhausting it is. Still, she says she's happy to finally spend time with them.
Oops, this one's a winner.
Oh, you missed it.
After a while, she gets tired and asks if the motel has a bar.
We're gonna have to double check all the...
Meanwhile, at the state lottery headquarters, the reporter, Maya, meets the CEO, Grazio. She mentions she has questions. Grazio proudly talks about how successful the lottery has been for the state. Maya subtly hints at a mysterious player from Michigan who keeps winning large sums every month.
Some retiree gets lucky and they send a spotlight reporter.
I didn't say he was a retiree.
Which makes it clear the CEO already knows more than he's letting on. Back in Everett, Jerry walks into Leon's store for his usual morning coffee. As he's pouring a cup, he's shocked to see Tyler waiting for him. Tyler says he no longer wants a partnership. He wants Jerry and Marge to stop playing entirely. He admits they hacked into the lottery system once, and now threatens that if Jerry doesn't quit, they'll hack into his and his group's bank accounts, credit, and identity. Jerry asks why he's doing this. Tyler calmly says it's nothing personal. He just wants the whole pool to himself. Leon, the store owner, watches quietly in the background. Tyler ends with,
"It's over. Enjoy your golden years."
And walks out. When Jerry gets home, he finds Marge already buzzing with excitement, preparing for their next trip to Massachusetts. But Jerry sadly tells her they won't be playing the lottery anymore, leaving Marge shocked. That evening, they hold a shareholders meeting. Jerry takes the stage and, with a heavy heart, announces that they will no longer be playing, disappointing the entire room. He lies, saying it's because of new variables in the game. Leon quietly tells Doug about what happened between Jerry and Tyler at the store. Doug approaches Jerry and urges him not to let some college kids take this away from him.
So you're really gonna let some college smartass take all this away from you?
He reminds Jerry that because of him, the whole town has regained its spark, and everyone is now happy. Doug tells him their small town feels big again because of Jerry, and he shouldn't let anyone steal that away. Doug leaves, and Marge walks up to her husband. Jerry reflects, recalling a time he took Doug fishing as a boy.
He was, 16, 17. I started calculating how fast the bobber was moving so I can figure out the speed of the current. And then I hear him ask me, "Well, what do you think, Dad?" It was at that moment that I realized he was talking about a girl that he liked.
He admits to Marge that sometimes he thinks he sees things others don't, but often he's actually missing the bigger picture. After this moment of self-reflection, he walks home, deep in thought. Later at home, Marge reminds Jerry that the next roll down is this weekend. Jerry says he already knows, but explains that he's just trying to do the right thing by not playing. Marge tells him he's never been the type to give up without finding a solution, and he shouldn't start now. Using a playful binomial distribution analogy, she reminds him that they have each other and aren't afraid to do something a little stupid. Her words motivate him, and soon, the couple is driving to Massachusetts in their pickup truck. Later, they arrive at Bill's store in Massachusetts. Meanwhile, at Harvard, Tyler is counting his group's winnings when Eric tells him they didn't get the entire jackpot. Tyler asks who else did, and Eric reveals it's Jerry and his group. Tyler is furious. Realizing that Jerry has called his bluff, he devises a plan to trigger the roll down and claim the entire $2 million jackpot for himself. He explains to Eric that $100,000 is added to the lottery pot every day, and when it reaches $2 million, a roll down occurs. If they wait until the pot hits $1 million and then bet that same amount, they can trigger the roll down and win everything.
We bet $1 million in one day. I mean, we own the game.
And where do we get $1 million?
But Tyler has a plan. The next day, Tyler presents his idea to some of his dad's friends, asking for their investment. One asks if his dad knows about this, but Tyler assures them his dad has never made $1 million in a single night. Impressed, they agree to fund the plan. Tyler then instructs some of the students to head to different ticket printing shops and warns them not to let anyone interfere.
Hey, what happens if somebody wins the jackpot and we lose $1 million?
Beyond dropping out of school because I blew my entire tuition, I think one of those investors might actually kill me.
A few days later, as Jerry and Marge are about to settle into their motel room, Bill rushes in, revealing that the roll down has already been triggered, weeks earlier than expected. Jerry is stunned. Realizing that Tyler and his group must have done it, he jumps into his truck and drives straight to Harvard. When he arrives, he finds Tyler celebrating with the students. Tyler jokes, asking if Jerry has come to give him a whooping. Jerry admits he wants to, but instead tells Tyler he's disappointed in himself for letting someone so selfish get to him. Jerry explains that being the smartest person in the room isn't what matters. It's the people around you and how they support you.
But it turns out it's this room that matters. All these bright young people helping you get rich. How are you helping them? Guess you haven't run the math out on that, huh?
Jerry wishes them luck and leaves. Inspired, the students drop the tickets and refuse to count anymore.
What? Just get back to counting.
Ignoring Tyler's commands. Back in Everett, Jerry and Marge are at Steve's office with Bill, discussing how Tyler and his Harvard group managed to trigger the roll down. Steve and Bill suggest they do the same, but Jerry refuses, saying it wouldn't be fair to regular players, and Marge agrees. Steve points out that it's not the lottery stopping them, just a bunch of college kids, which sparks an idea in Jerry. He realizes the lottery doesn't care who plays, they just play the game to win. Next, Jerry and Marge go to the state lottery headquarters for a meeting with CEO Mr. Grazio and other board members. Jerry explains that a few years ago, the lottery was losing money.
Then along comes windfall and all that changes. You folks made millions before you realized there was a flaw in the math.
But since only they and the Harvard students figured it out, the lottery kept profiting from unaware players. Now, Jerry and Marge demand two things. The jackpot pool must be displayed on the website for transparency, so no one can trigger a roll down, and they want 2 machines installed at Liquor Hut. Grazio smiles and agrees to their requests. At Harvard, Tyler is planning his next play and bragging about how they won't need real jobs.
The lottery changed the website. You can track the jackpot online. We can't roll it down anymore.
Tyler immediately suspects Jerry is behind it.
Shit!
And vows to get revenge. Later, Tyler returns to his usual playing hall, but finds only Eric there. The rest of the group refuses to play anymore because of Tyler's behavior. Frustrated, Tyler brags to Eric that he will play alone and doesn't need their help. Moments later, he's waiting for his tickets to be printed at a nearby liquor store, completely alone. Meanwhile, back at Liquor Hut, Jerry and Marge are busy using the 2 new machines. Meanwhile, lottery reporter Maya reviews the past 6 months of state lottery winnings and notices Jerry's name appears every 3 weeks. With the help of her boss, she also spots Tyler's name and realizes another player has been cashing in big too. Back in Everett, Raj finally reopens his ice cream shop thanks to the investment group. Doug helps Jerry fix his car while Lizzie plays nearby. Jerry brings out an old football, saying he's always wanted to toss it with Doug, something they never did when Doug was little. They start tossing the ball, enjoying the moment when Maya interrupts, asking to speak with Jerry about GS investment strategies. He takes her to the garage to show the mountains of lottery tickets and explains that he and Marge actually enjoy counting them themselves, even in a motel room for 11 straight days.
You and your wife count tickets in a hotel room for 11 days?
Yep.
That's so much work.
Doesn't seem like work. I've worked all my life. This is different. This is very different.
Maya is impressed. When she gets back to the office, she notes to her boss how the Selbee couple helped their town with a lottery loophole.
They helped their entire town. The flaw isn't the story.
But her boss ignores it, saying it wouldn't make a flashy headline. Later, Jerry and Marge arrive at Liquor Hut, excited for their biggest game yet, but they're disappointed to see lottery workers removing the windfall machines. Bill explains that the lottery has revoked their license, showing them a news story detailing how they and Tyler discovered the flaw and cashed out millions. Tyler's face is plastered across the page. At Harvard, Tyler's father storms into his dorm, furious, and tells him to pack his bags because he's being sent home. Back at home, Marge and Don watch the news as the report announces that 2 groups exploited the lottery and won millions. The state lottery will phase out the game after the roll down that night. Don remarks that they could have made their final win that day, but Marge says it wouldn't have felt the same anywhere else. She notices Jerry sitting quietly and says the lottery was more than a game to him.
He finally got to use his gift to connect to people.
Just then, Steve arrives in his Corvette, informing them of a shareholder meeting that night. That evening, Jerry and Marge arrive to find a surprise. Jazz Fest is in full swing, and the whole town is there to celebrate. Everyone applauds them as they arrive. Then, they reveal they traveled across states to purchase tickets for their final play, leaving the couple excited. Jerry and Marge are thrilled to see Raj driving up with a tractor full of boxes of tickets, since they left all the counting to the couple. Jazz Fest begins, and Jerry and Marge dance as the town joins in. Steve even gets asked to dance by a pretty woman. Amid the celebration, the couple admits they'll miss the lottery, though Marge wishes they had won the jackpot at least once. Jerry smiles and says he already did by having her. As the music ends, they rush off to start counting the tickets. The movie closes with Bill's voiceover, explaining that Jerry and Marge used their winnings to start a construction loan business, while he built a luxurious man cave for himself. In total, Jerry and their group won a grand total of $27 million.